guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to say. And when they told you everything was safe, were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe? Were you safe?
Fresh off the masses, the brand new cancerous growth, who has come here to vie for your vote. Come here to cry at the camps and to mourn at the shore for the bodies that float by the wreck of an immigrant boat. Then it's back to their luxury home, couple security booths and a moat, couple cigars, little escargot, little booze and a soak. Just breathe in the steam and the smoke. Pink salt, lavender, candles are low. Shit, when you do what you do, gotta lighten the load. And he got a life of his own that's a sight to behold. And it's a lot to control, to decipher the code or to siphon the soul. The cost of a good night's sleep for the working elite is a bargain, no matter the toll. Worth any wager, and that comes straight from the mouth of the means to the goal that will swallow us whole. Right for the picking if you don't mind mold, and you know I don't. Maybe we're pleasantly prone, maybe we're taking a licking, compliantly ticking and ticking and ticking, but never explode. No, I don't deliver the prettiest image, but damn if it isn't an accurate vision of natural fission, of rage at the system and abject heartbreak, patiently waiting for any who will listen. That little blue bird who was watching your words is a federal carrier pigeon, a Langley first. It's a patient observer who hears what it wants and is trained for the worst. Oh, you got nothing to hide. They'll be the ones to decide that after they root through your purse, after they read all your text, after they raid your apartment, confiscate all of its contents, then conjure up evidence out of the air on a wing and a prayer and malicious intelligence nonsense. Any presumption of innocence long since gone, right along with your comforts and constants. Historically first they will come for the communists. So why in the fuck would I say I'm a communist? Well, it might be I love my community more than the monsters of opulence who are holding us hostage, who are vomiting promises. Might be I'm all done seeing our pensions and benefits harvested. Might be I'm all done watching the populace being disarmed in the guise of an armistice. Watching a woman collapse on the floor who will rise no more. She is wheeled out the door and you're next in line for the pharmacist. If you can get me to vote, it's a hard no confidence. But part of the charm of deception is politics wearing the mask of incompetence. It's all in the art of austerity, darling. It's all in the slide of the providence. Until home is as wide as your cubicle height and is only as deep as your coffin is. Maybe I'm miles away from impatience, aching to break off the head of the snake where the capital lust, reptile brain, and the margin of profit is. Like off with his. Like off with his.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, were you save.
Fate demanded I be singer of a new ballad about the candidate you wanted like a finger in your fruit salad, but were made to choke down. And never mind he didn't have supporters on the ground. Never mind a website that gave volunteers the runaround, and a platform, a policy that followed Biden's lead and didn't make a fucking sound. And then he takes the crown. Now that's ascension into power by immaculate election, cause no one really wanted it and no one should have trusted it. But don't you try to question it, cause Joe is not a fan of questions, but Joe is a fan of pointing fingers right in people's faces. Or if they're not in public spaces, Joe will try to poke a finger everywhere I won't mention. Joe's soul is molded and beholden more to power than the list of fucking speakers at the DNC convention, who gave us all a show of keeping AOC at bay, just so everyone can say they tried to censor her dissension. But if you still believe the progressives we've elected give a shit if we're protected, there's a bridge I'd like to sell you in a parallel dimension. You know they're just tech savvier with media relations, propagandist Instagram and public obfuscation. Better suited to assure you that they're here to have a conversation. Better suited to assure you they aren't actively supporting your eviction and your slide into starvation. Better suited to assure you they can tweet about your needs and offer hope and motivation while you drift into the weeds, but they partnered with the moccasins and gators and the reeds. You damn sure get a portion of our meat. So, love me or leave me or mislead me to decree. Honey, you won't want to hear it, so I'll try to say it sweet. The squad are not your buddies, they are simply more discreet. The GOP will kill you on your feet. Dems and fake progressives do it in your sleep. Anyone can recognize a nation's needs and put it in a tweet.
We did it, I think.
Boom.
Hi, everybody. I did it. See, I jumped over Jesse this time. Happy birthday, Cynic. And we're here once again for American Tradition. It's indie. It says it on the thing.
There we are.
I did a stream earlier, and someone after the whole thing said, "Who's the guy talking?" And I just thought that was kind of funny. So whoever that was, I won't call you out because I love you and you're great and I think you're funny and that was great. But yeah, that was a lot of good stuff. I did do a stream earlier today with Fiorella for a special How Do We Miss That? We went through 3 articles. We talked about the Rage Against the War Machine. It was great. So I get to do 2 streams with 2 of my favorite people today in one day. And this is freaking awesome. It is American Tradition. It is episode 19. It is Cynic's birthday. Cynic, for those of you who don't know, is one of Jesse's best friends and the ultimate Jesse fan, and knows Jesse's library better, I think, than Jesse might know his own library. Right. I swear to God, she's amazing. Yep. An absolute savant when it comes to that stuff.
Yep.
What album, when it was recorded, where they were when they heard it, or whatever the scene was. It's like
the scribe.
Yeah, I love it, and it's fantastic. So tonight is her birthday. She's also done some of the artwork for she drew Jesse Cat, and we love that.
And album covers for Perennial Edition. Everyone Who Disagrees with You is an Extremist.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so let me just, in that vein, show everybody tonight's thumbnail. And this is CynFest, and so we've got our flaming train because we're off the rails and we're it's a dumpster fire. But of course, we have to have our little Woodstock peace sign and say hi to everybody and have our birthday balloons and the disco ball spinning.
At first, I considered cynical traditions, and then I was like, you know what, CynFest just sounds too good, especially like all the people that were losing their minds over the Grammy performance are like, this is Satan's work. You know, SynFest just feels really fitting. Like,
Seriously, crazy times. So, I wasn't even 100% expecting to do this show yesterday afternoon, so I'm really happy to be doing it. I was down for the count for a couple days.
I didn't know if you were back in the land of the living or not. I knew last I heard you were time traveling.
It was real bad. I just had 3 days of like sweating and fever and couldn't shake it, and it wasn't anything more than a fever. I don't know what it was, but I couldn't move. I mean, somehow I managed to get a Substack out every day. I don't know how the hell I did that.
Right?
But I still had crazy fever.
Dude.
Well, whatever. Yeah.
He's a working machine.
It's yeah. Nobody knows. Yeah, I just yes, I'm a machine. So the machine keeps putting stuff out, even when I'm sick. I stand here because when I can't stay in bed, what the hell else am I gonna do? So like it's 3:00 in the morning. I got up and I'm done sweating for a while. What am I supposed to do? So I sit here and I screw with people on Twitter and I write a Substack and I'll share people's videos, and that's what I like to do. So yeah, I was gonna turn this on. So I'm actually I wanted to show Jesse. I'm wearing my indie beanie.
Oh, that's awesome!
How kick-ass is that, right?
Nice.
So I got merch.
Oh,
we got merch.
I need to get one.
IndependentLeft.shop. You can go check that out.
I think underneath. I think I might have
Nice. We got the tank. All right, everyone go to indienews.shop also, indienews.shop.
Positioned tantalizingly close to my nipple.
Get yourself an American tradition tank top in multiple colors, but certainly pink. All real men wear pink. So tonight, this is a birthday tribute to the graphical sorceress and fan club president, CynicLgrrl, where she steers the set list wherever she pleases. So we get classics, new twists, rare gems, questionable performances, no Ave Maria.
Oh no, I might. I mean, dude, the day after that butchery, I was at work and I sang it in like 3 different trucks that I was loading because it was like I could sing that day, and I was like,
oh my god,
I'm gonna fucking bell this out every chance I get. I'm still one night just gonna randomly pull that out. But yeah, I told her, I said, hey, tell me whatever you want tonight, and that's what will be on the set list. And I had a couple things in mind that I wanted to do, which worked out that she wanted to hear as well. And then the stuff she suggested so far was fantastic. And we were just saying the other day that like it's been a while since I've done some of the, I think that first episode or two, I pulled out a lot of the biggies like Redpilled and Militia Intent and stuff like that, that I haven't done in a while. And if anything, I wish those songs didn't get like a little bit more relevant as time goes by, but they sure do. I actually was listening to Both Hands on Your Head today off of The Grift, because I want to do an acoustic version of that tonight.
But put out way back in the summer of 22.
I know, it's crazy how far long ago that feels, but it really is like, Jesus Christ, it's not even been a year, but it feels like more than a year.
I'm thinking like
it blew my mind when I saw the playlist that you have. You have the playlist of all my stuff, and it's like almost 8 hours. I was like, how the fuck?
Right?
God.
Yeah, literally, it's like every Jesse song that's on. You know what? Why don't I share that with everyone? So if you guys are on Spotify, I made a playlist, a public playlist. It's every Jesse song that's public on Spotify right now. So hang on, let me paste this in here and drop that. So you can all go and add that playlist and subscribe to it, and it's just gold. There's so much stuff, so many little nuggets in there, and oh, something went wrong. It didn't work. What? Something went wrong. Okay, I guess it didn't like my Spotify link somewhere.
Interesting.
Oh, that worked. Okay.
Dangerous.
Yeah, I even just hearing Union Drip,
I am something of a bad boy, Indy.
Echosphere again from this summer. But I still love all the songs off of Inauguration Gift. You know, that to
Yeah.
me, that's great
Yep.
experiment. You know, Mona's like, you know,
Yeah.
can you stop playing that because it's like too dark. I literally stopped playing it because Mona asked me to. You know, I love
That's
that
funny.
song because it's become more realistic. I'd love to hear you do that one.
Mhm.
You know, that would
Yeah.
be a good one for you to
Yeah.
do
I haven't done that in a
because
minute.
because
Um,
it's been a while and yeah, it's become
you know what's
more like
funny?
it.
I put that song, I remember uploading that onto Twitter, making the video, putting it up, and then I replied to the infamous Bean Dad, with which got me my first suspension. And I put my phone down for a while, came back a little while later and opened it up and it said, your account's been, you know, suspended for 7 days. And I was like, oh, great experiment. I had a feeling putting it up. I was like, this might be the one that bites me. But it wasn't. It was what I said to the Bean Dad. Turns out the song didn't raise any
Unreal.
any red flags.
Well,
Um,
because yeah, I mean, a lot of
which, you know,
especially when you put it out, it was like Gen 6 time, right? Like,
it was right after that. Yeah. In fact,
mm,
one of the first shows I got to go on was Ron Placone, and
ah,
it was right after January 6th. And I was like, you know what? I was gonna do Militia Intent, but it felt just a little too soon. I didn't want that message misconstrued. Uh, and yeah, that's the only time I've really held off on something. And same with like Great Experiment. When I wrote that, I was very aware that, like, I mean, obviously, you know, it's what it talks about. Like it was frustrating to see uh what under a different context with different people and obviously like a real motivation. Um that's how a revolution would happen. But that was the farthest fucking thing. It was the most fabricated, fed clusterfuck that is just so embarrassing on so many levels, to then see so many people like, this is our democracy under attack.
oh
So I
god,
really, you know, it was one of those times where one misstep and you're just stuck in like this quicksand, this nuanceless quicksand that I just didn't want to get bogged down in. So yeah, I kind of let Militia Intent lay low for a little bit, for a couple weeks, and
Hmm.
yeah, Great Experiment was one of those. I was like, ugh, kind of right on the cusp, you know. Like if there was any question about like what my stances are, that song clears it up really fast.
Yeah, right. So are we playing? Are we doing spoken word? I know you sent me a new piece. Is
Um,
this a new piece?
yeah, I
Ground Zero
got
Pizza Hut?
it is a new piece. It is.
Woo!
I got a couple new pieces. You know what? We're gonna let the birthday girl decide. What are we kicking off with? You want to do you want me to do Ground Zero Pizza Hut first, and then get into some songs?
Oh.
This piece, yeah. So there is a Pizza Hut. Well, there was, R.I.P. There was a Pizza Hut in town that had a fire, and we thought they were just going to rebuild. Well, they ended up just demolishing the building, and now all that's left is the sign, and it says to be continued. And there's
Ah,
just the empty lot. And I had ended up writing this piece, and I wanted to talk about all the different things that could happen to one little patch of ground in the U.S.
hmm.
Starting with it having Native American bodies buried on it, and the few different businesses that come and go. One of them being a Pizza Hut, and it's a very bizarre piece. The couple things I've written so far. Which I imagine this will stay spoken word. I can't imagine trying to turn this into a song. Um, they're very different, which I'm happy with. I leaned a little more like on everyone who disagrees with you as an extremist. I wanted it to be as fun to listen to as possible, especially with the subject matter. I tried to make it a little bit more like danceable and a bit more kind of high energy. Without like sacrificing the seriousness of what I'm talking about. And I was really happy with how it turned out. So I want everything else to kind of lean into that more. The spoken word is going to be a little bit more kind of stream of consciousness, and music is going to be as earwormy as I can get it. Like,
Good. I like
I mean,
earwormy.
if I want this shit to stick with people, like, stuff like Depop Culture does it. That's been my top song on Spotify since it came out. So
Well, that might just
I
be
feel like
me by
does,
itself.
it
That
does
could be
that
me.
Powerless thing that it kind of gets in there. Misty.
Bro, that can be me on my own. Seriously,
Yeah, right.
like Depop Culture just in rotation 24/7. I know Kit has been running it too over at Hardlands.
Yeah. Shout out to Kit. Seriously, every time he plays something of mine, I notice a difference in like people following on Bandcamp or like sell an album or something like that. So it really means a lot. So everyone at Hardlands, I appreciate the hell out of it. Thank you guys.
Yeah, here. So let's go to presenter mode, and let's get it up.
Yeah. I'm ready.
Check it out. Now that looks good actually. Today's presenter mode looks nice.
It does.
All right, and again,
all right. So yeah, this is Ground Zero Pizza Hut. I'll take a couple minutes if you think that you can spare a few. I'll try to mask my bitterness like wild berry Theraflu. Sometimes I find things bearable, I really do. Sometimes I'm marigolds and baby blue. Sometimes I make it 20 minutes without thinking to myself how those who chose to starve you will not take the time to stay and bury you. No chariots will carry you to Arlington or Xanadu, or lay you in the vacant space that sits beneath your panic room. This one's for the native graves on which we laid some tanning booths, that closed within a year and changed to mom and pop Italian food, that got pushed out for Pizza Hut, which got shut down for safety codes, and in the end the building was demolished for the danger posed. Now there's just an empty field where little vegetation grows, where now and then you'll think you hear the wind when there's no wind that blows. Maybe it's the echo of the laughter of the natives when they see how we can't feed ourselves or fashion our own winter clothes. Watching us like human moths all drawn where'er the ember goes, with all the sea a garbage heap and mountains stripped like centerfolds. Down beyond the crater where the river flows, polyfluoroalkyl trout are mating in the witch's grove. Each are casting dirty glances, third eyes courtesy Monsanto, glaring at the only trout with two who dared to interlope. Maybe that was truly thunder humming through the stone below, or native spirits laughing with a cackle like a thunderbolt that rendered in one brilliant flash to shattered glass this sundered gloam, or maybe it's the rumble of a humbling karmic undertow. Maybe we've been swept away by titan waves with plastic foam, so every day we gasp and writhe, our hopes alight with phosphorus glow. Gods, what awful prospect to restore this nation's monstrous soul. And yet the concept is a constant threat of promise kept to bait the polls. And then they take the votes as far from all us nosy proles as they can coast on half the world's reserves of coal. Take the rest to go and try to overdose before they hit the polls. Crashed a global market, broke a couple bones. Made a couple buddies, faked a dozen loans. Torched a lot of farms, I bet you never heard. Cops were being cops, they said a couple words. Well, over in the vacant lot on 23rd, someone traced the Pizza Hut from memory in the ash and dirt. And as I stood and stared, I heard the wind, and yet no wind had stirred. Still, I found myself concerned that I might see the sketch disturbed. I sat within a booth, outlined upon the vacant earth, as one might touch the only stone still standing in their place of birth. Sick for dumb nostalgia, which the truly branded yearn. Then I heard their voices rushing past. You'll never learn. You'll never learn. That's Ground Zero Pizza Hut.
Oh, dude, that's so creepy and spooky, and I love it.
Yeah, that was a fun one. That was a really fun one to write.
Woo!
So then the next day I'm coming home from work and I'm like parked in that parking lot trying to get a picture of the Pizza Hut, like empty lot with the sign.
Right.
If I hadn't been late, I really wanted to like take the time because it had snowed and go like draw, because you could see kind of where the building had been. I was like, God, how cool would it be to take the time to draw the booths and draw a few things and then get a picture of it and use that for a cover? But
USA.
Yeah, right.
That's what I was thinking of as I'm listening to you. Like, USA,
You're right.
USA. Like, dude, you just described America in 250 years. Right there.
No shit. Yeah.
Fuck, man. Okay. That was fun.
All right. Yeah. We were talking about Depop Culture. I think we'll get into that first. That's gonna be. I've been itching to do this one acoustic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Not
I really love the
unhappy
song.
about that.
Let's see how.
It was snow instead of dirt. There you go.
Let's see. All right.
We got.
We'll see. Wish me luck here, folks.
Yeah, this is the anti-State of the Union. This is the real State of the Union.
No shit.
Wait.
Yep.
Hold on a minute. Where's the soundboard? In 2 words, that's the State of the Union. We're fucked.
All right.
We're fucked. Great, Cynic.
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and to still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. When they told you everything was safe, you say you say I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want me to say? You prove it's possible to sleep for days and still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe, you were safe. You were safe.
Fresh off the mass, the brand new cancerous growth, who has come here to vie for your vote. Come here to cry at the camps and to mourn at the shore for the bodies that float by the wreck of an immigrant boat. Then it's back to their luxury home, couple security booths and a moat, couple cigars, little escargot, little booze and a soak. Just breathe in the steam and the smoke. Pink salt lavender candles are low. Shit, when you do what you do, gotta lighten the load. And he got a life of his own, it's a sight to behold. No, it's a lot to control, to decipher the code or to siphon the soul. Know the cost of a good night's sleep for the working elite is a bargain, no matter the toll. It's worth any wager, and that comes straight from the mouth of the means to the goal that will swallow us whole. And it's ripe for the picking if you don't mind mold, and you know I don't. Maybe we're pleasantly prone, maybe we're taking a licking, compliantly ticking and ticking and ticking, but never explode. No, I don't deliver the prettiest image, but damn if it isn't an accurate vision, a natural vision of rage at the system and abject heartbreak, patiently waiting for any who'll listen. That little blue bird who was watching your words is a federal carrier pigeon. That's a Langley first. It's a patient observer who hears what it wants and is trained for the worst. Oh, you got nothing to hide? Well, they'll be the ones to decide that after they root through your purse, after they read all your texts, after they raid your apartment and confiscate all of its contents, conjure up evidence out of the air on a wing and a prayer and malicious intelligence nonsense, or any presumption of innocence long since gone, right along with your comforts and constants. Historically, first they will come for the communists. So why in the fuck would I say I'm a communist? Maybe I'm more to love my community more than the monsters of opulence who are holding us hostage, who are vomiting promises. Might be I'm all done seeing our pensions and benefits harvested. Might be I'm all done watching the populace being disarmed in the guise of an armistice. Watching a woman collapse on the floor who will rise no more. She is wheeled out the door and you're next in line for the pharmacist. If you can get me to vote, it's a hard no confidence. But part of the charm of deception is politics wearing the mask of incompetence. It's all in the art of austerity, darling. It's all in the slide of the providence. Until home is as wide as your cubicle height and it's only as deep as your coffin is. Maybe I'm miles away from impatience, aching to break off the head of the snake where the capital lust, reptile brain, and the marginal profit is. Like off with his. Like off with his.
Guess this isn't such an awful place. That what you want me to say. You prove it's possible to sleep for days and still think you're right here awake. The cost of living isn't much to make, but God, it's so hard to save. And when they told you everything was safe,
Were you safe?
Whew.
I'm screaming at my microphone, dude. I had to turn on for the last bit.
Oh, I love it.
I said I'd join you at some point, man. Yes, you heard me too. Yes, you heard me too, City. Yeah, we'll have to do a duet at some
together.
point. We'll do a duet.
Oh, we do Islands in the Stream.
That is what we are. No one in between. Oh yeah, we could totally do that. The karaoke
Let's do
night.
Let's do a night where we just get progressively drunk and like chain smoke joints and do like Islands in the Stream, Leather and Lace.
Oh my god.
Footloose songs, Grease songs, you know. It's
yeah, like Summer Nights. Tell me more, right? All the call and response songs. That's really funny.
That'd be so fun. Oh yeah, Afternoon Delight. Yeah, that's a given.
That's too much. Oh, you guys are great.
Shit, that's funny.
I'm glad Reef isn't recorded up. Oh boy.
Oh man.
So yeah, let's see.
We have fun here.
Always. So yeah, Redpilled. I would go for.
Yep.
I would love to hear. I listen to Lockheed Martin OnlyFans all the time.
That's still one of my favorite song titles I've ever come up with.
And of course, like, turn up the music. No, people still owe money. I was listening to that earlier today. People still owe money. Shout out Franco on that. But yeah, Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Oh, that would be good. Will you love me forever? I know all the words to that. Yeah, I could totally do that.
Let's do that. I haven't played Redpilled in way too long.
You know that, like, every day I put out an update for, it's a 6-pack, and I put out a list, and it's a little 30-second video, and the music that I use for that 30-second video has been Redpilled for like a year. And it's you playing Redpilled acoustically. I think it was episode 1. So since last May,
really?
I sampled 30 seconds of that. Like, yeah, doing. I think I think I Miss Being Blind, like right in the beginning, and yeah, it's great. And some people are like, that's insensitive to blind people, and I'm like, really?
And I've heard that too, and like I didn't think about that. but that is the
It's
best,
spiritually blind.
quickest
It's
stomach punch of a description for not seeing, in the truest sense. And it is, there are times where you really wish you went back to that, and it's not like you were a little clued in. You had no fucking clue.
nope.
It was completely invisible to you, and once that curtain's torn down, if you want to put it back up, it's not going up. It's it's never the same.
Nope. I cannot watch TV anymore. I can't watch TV. I can't.
This song just wasn't the
bummer.
same without that line. So yeah, and gosh, what's funny is this was, beginning of 21, and now it's like, happy to say, like, my wife's right there with me now. She's watching stuff, and she's like, "Oh, did you see that?" I'm like, "Oh, I fucking saw it, babe." Like, she's totally painfully aware of it, but she
red-pilled her.
She sees it now. Yep.
I love it. That's great.
Yeah, so it's interesting. This is especially always an interesting song to come back to, and yeah, I haven't played this in a hot second. So
cool.
I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines. Couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. And I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. Thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. My favorite songs don't hit the same way, 'cause I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they actually say? And so I try to sit down with my wife and watch TV, but I just see propaganda elevating the police in the simplest of sitcom banter, and tiny little altars full of offerings to corporate masters in every well-planned wide pan shot of the name brand stocking up the pantry. Pull back, one long tracking shot out to the garage to the logo on the Camry. Nice tight shot of the Camry, close-up view of the Camry, slow pan up on the Camry, long slow zoom to the unmoving human who's up in the front with the tube pumping fumes to him straight from the back of the Camry. Ashamed he just could not provide for himself, let alone for his family. No, it's a blue pill mindset that spent 2020 making dance beats. I think I liked it better being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines. Couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. And I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. Thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry. Ignorance is bliss, which explains why a lot of us are so fucking happy. Quick to take the trip for all its trappings. Never one to ask what's up, what's going on, or God forbid what's happening. A lot of us would strap into the ride and spit right in the eye of the guy whose job it is to snap your fastenings. But maybe we're all born with that capacity.
Maybe each of us comes standard with humor, compassion, malice, and audacity. Some of us are blind to the system, but some see it fine and say this is how it has to be. Some of us can stare wide-eyed at a nationwide human catastrophe and only offer platitudes and recipes. And fuck, I wish that I could tell myself nothing's worth obsessing past my everyday necessities. I wish that I could cry fake news over anything that threatened me, tune out our abuses and consume a little levity. I wish that I could offer up my son a smoother destiny. I wish I had some better lessons when I had to answer questions for the things I've been perpetually questioning. But I'm too busy looking at our leaders, wondering what I might be missing from their messaging. I'm trying to find the reasoning to let 500,000 people meet an early reckoning. And even though I know the truth, it's hard to swallow something that's so literally sickening. Hope is ever dwindling, COVID ever beckoning. Winter slows your breathing, but your pulse is ever quickening. No, even though I know the truth, it's hard to keep listening. I'm done with my epiphany, my innocence is blistering. I like to think I'd taste the earth before I'd ever kiss the ring. It's hard to speak the truth and harder still to keep listening. Sometimes I think I miss being blind, when I couldn't read between the lines and couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. Thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. Both bleed us so dry.
Sweet, man. Love it. Yeah, I hear the music going still in my head. Yeah, exactly.
Fun fact, that was me playing Slide with my lighter in my car.
I love it. Oh, it's so good. Powerful. We should also go right to Powerless from that if you're going to do that.
Oh, yeah. That was when I did it. I was like, you know what? I just keep hearing this really nice, clean Ringo kind of fill and like some shameless Beatlesy slide solo. Like, my God, I'm gonna do it. Because originally the song, I've said before, it stopped right after the, it's a blue pill mindset that spent 2020 making dance beats. It ended there, and it never went. And I listened to it. I was like, it was good, but I was like, I just kept hearing this and then once it did, I wrote that whole second verse, and it was just a whole different song after that. Like it wouldn't have been.
Yeah,
wouldn't have been nearly the same.
Yup.
All right.
Jesse's water bottle looks a little like a Ciroc bottle. I was like, damn, party hard, Jesse. Well,
right.
Jesse does party hard. You know, we got the apple bomb, we got the apple bowl. You know, we're all ready to go here. So let's see who else is here in chat. Screw Google, welcome. How are you, man? It's good to see everybody in the chat. Funky Monkey, we like the Funky Monkey.
I was on a friend Howard Vander's podcast a couple years back, and we obviously talked about the Apple and music in general and imperialism, and he ended up calling the episode Apple Bong and Jeans Boots on the Ground.
Oh my God, that's so good.
So perfect.
That's so good.
Oh, shit.
You cannot say Scroogle? Yeah. Is that like Noogler? I can't not say Scroogle, like Nooglers? Like when do that. Even though that movie is a commercial for Google, it is, you know, it really actually is kind of funny. The internship with with one of the one with Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, where they work for Google and they're sales guys, and it's it's really funny. Little commercial, but I'm here and stuff I like right there. All right, I'll shut up now.
Let's do it.
Go do this.
gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so, so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. They'll gladly pay you by the hour for a minute or so, so you can sign off on the towers where they'll piss on your home. And if you feel like you're just powerless to answer them no, it's 'cause you are. It's 'cause you are. They'll gladly stagnate a living wage, snap the chains and bury it. Labor slaves in rusty cages dragged behind a chariot, led by Mr. Racial Jungle Joseph R. Iscariot, fighting over scraps as they barrage us all with variants and BuzzFeed clickbait, straight until we're paralyzed, trying to distract us from the concentration camps that Joe had swore he'd close, only chose to amplify, where they got 50-something kids in cages made for 5 to occupy. And no, she hasn't seen the camps, but Harris swears they're paradise. She tells us the facilities are safe and that right down to the women, they are regularly sterilized. Then she throws her head back and she proceeds to laugh, this sort of heartless cackle you'd expect from someone working steadfastly on behalf of the virus and a Congress full of parasites. And where was I? I was busy cashing every blue check, demonstrating plainly all the narratives expected from the verified. I was busy breeding verbal leeches by the terabyte and trained them to exsanguinate the wealthy while they sleep at night. Bleed the oil barons dry and barren, say they showed us how to share and now we share alike. Tell them I contracted rabies from a feral mic. And now I'm just another species losing sleep to noise pollution and these glaring lights. Forced to change its habits and adapt to just survive. And now it's safe to say that some of us are thriving in the moment, throwing shit on presidential homes beneath the Paris skies. So if you feel like you're just powerless, I guess you bought the lie. But I can tell they're petrified of our collective might, 'cause I can hear those gentrifiers weeping at the sight of our collective rights. And I only can imagine the intensifying fear of knowing revolution's near. And all that's left to do is simply wallow in the thick anticipation of a rabid bite. Well, baby, one day you can ask your leaders just what that was like before you grab a slice. So if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. Honey, if you think you're powerless, allow me now to change your mind. You see, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, and tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark, because you aren't. Because we aren't. You see, they'll pay you hourly, tax them each apart, and make you build a shining tower out of loopholes and cards, where they'll tell you that you're powerless to keep you in the dark, because you aren't. Because we aren't.
Oh man, my lighter ran out of fluid right there. Oh shit. I had it up. Yeah, dude, that's so good. So good.
Man, R.I.P. the old post of Joe's video of that we made it up to 14,000 views.
So,
and
you want to hear something funny? Crab put up a video yesterday on INN, and it's already at like 28,000 views. That it was that Joe Rogan crystal ball one. I don't understand.
Oh yeah,
it went crazy. So,
that's funny.
Yeah. What's Indy? What did I do? What happened? Oh yeah, best lyrics. No, that's really funny. Chinese weather balloon. Yes, the Chinese weather balloon was checking America's atmosphere. Yes, that's absolutely what my contention was. And I was joking about my lighter running out of fluid just because I was holding it up to the sky. But no, my lighter still has fluid. I can still hit the bong after we're done with the show. But I do wait until afterwards. I don't do that in between. At least most of the time. Occasionally I'll run in when the song starts. So what do we got next? Cynic and Birthday Girl. What are we doing here?
All right, I am tuned up. So this she was excited about. She told me whatever order I wanted. I think she'll be excited about this one. So fun fact, and it kind of works to go from Powerless. This song originally was going to be structured the same. This was going to be kind of the halfway point on the grift, and it was going to be acoustic guitar and vocals, and that was it. And it just didn't, as short of an album as the grift is, being only 9 tracks, I liked that Powerless was the acoustic one, the only one, and it's at the very end, because it kind of segues you into disc 2 being spoken word. I felt like that was a nice little bridge. So I ended up playing around, coming up with the track, and suddenly the song became full instrumentation. But originally it was just going to be like this. So this is from Off of the Grift. This is Both Hands on Your Head. Okay.
And when you dream you're by yourself, don't know the streets where you'll find yourself, go back to sleep, don't mind yourself, both hands on your head. When you dream you're by yourself, don't know the streets where you find yourself, go back to sleep, don't mind yourself, both hands on your head, both hands on your head. Money's talking while hunger prays, bunch of Nazi-loving child fuckers run the state. 911 is on some 1-800 CIA, while plastic pundits pump your trust and fund your shallow graves. It is malice just for malice sakes. Congress houses wealthy corpses, breathing hexes, arming forces, spilling out 1 million greedy snakes from all their orifices, coursing down the Congress floor, across the aisle, out the door to curse 1 million more before they run their bloody courses. Clip your wings like Klippenstein, then out and burn your sources. Now collapse at times is hard to witness, other times it's simply gorgeous. There's something satisfying in the act of watching something greedy choke upon the very thing on which it gorges. And there is something humbling, blooming in the thought that once the dust is settled, mine could be the hand that clears the moss and lights the torches. Mine could be the voice that wakes the very fucking orchids. The lowliest of roots, I'd be the one to call them forward. Mine could be the words that stir the armies in the orchards. Let the very earth be witness first to see the fascists flail and flounder when they learn they're truly cornered. Once they learn the class war is boiled down to looters versus hoarders. Let the earth absorb their meager worth once they've been quartered. Then laugh and say I only followed orders. Sorta like the guy who flew the drone that leveled doctors without borders. When classic Clinton morals launched a couple wars and off the books a dozen more, until Congress opened up the store and moved 250,000 mortars. And then they bombed the legions out of those who wouldn't kneel before us.
And now the stage is set and we're the starving chorus, who hunger not for justice but those leaders that ignored us, who hunger not for justice but those leaders that ignored us. Go back to sleep, don't mind yourself. Let what you've seen rewind itself. And when you dream, you find yourself. Both hands on your head. Both hands on your head.
Ooh, it was real touch and go there, folks, but we made it.
Well, we got through. And
I
nobody
knew that
else
was gonna be
noticed.
fun acoustic. There are
that's
some
good.
songs, like, maybe it's only obvious to me that it feels like I'm just kind of hanging on the back of like a train and just like hope this stays on course.
And
Some
yeah,
songs I feel super out of control on, like whether it's gonna get here or not.
is it gonna crack? Is it gonna crack? No, it made it.
Right?
You got a
Especially
range, bro.
like that one I listened to today just to make sure I could like keep up with the pacing of these lyrics acoustic, because it's different when you're just recording the vocals and it's just you and your mic, but when I'm trying to play and do that, like, you never know until you're doing it whether you're gonna succeed or not. Oh shit.
Oh boy.
All right, that brings us to Militia Intent, folks. That, Militia Intent, more than maybe anything else, when I first wrote it, it was like, I didn't think anyone was going to like that song but me. I was totally ready for that to be just a Jesse jam. But man, it made me so happy that it started being like a song that would consistently get requested if I was on a show or something like that. Animators will always pop in and shout for some Militia Intent, which always makes me happy. So
I haven't seen Anna Maris in a while. I actually pinged her on Twitter. I hope she's doing all right. Shout out to Anna Maris out there. If you see her here, tell her we miss her. I hope she's doing well.
top artist influences. I am a fan of Sage Francis. I don't know as much of his material as I'd like to. But early on, when I first, I'm a huge Aesop Rock fan. And when I first got into him, I listened to some other similar artists. And there were definitely a few Sage Francis songs I always loved. Oh God, what's the one where he talks about Natalie Portman? The one where it's basically the whole song is him approaching a girl in like a coffee shop or something, and then crack pipes. But Aesop Rock is a huge influence. Lauryn Hill's Unplugged album was huge for me. Other things that are like I can hear a consistent influence. Death Cab for Cutie. There were several of their first albums. Narrow Stairs, especially, was a really big influence on me. Yes, and Rush. I mean, I love me some prog. If you've ever heard of a band called Black Moth Super Rainbow, Texture City, like, they use a lot of analog synth and like old vocoder and just very fuzzy lo-fi deliciousness. All their songs feel like you're watching a VHS tape and the tracking's a little off. It's got this kind of public access imperfection to it that's just fantastic. And then I love people like Saul Williams. He's one of the few other like poets that I like to listen to because some of his stuff is so lyrical, and I like stuff that obviously feels like song lyrics or verse form. yeah, those are big ones that jump out at me. And whenever someone asks me that and I list something, I always come back later. I'm like, fuck, how did I not say, like, Amy Winehouse? That's a big one. Yeah, and then a band called Fair to Midland. They only put out a few albums before they split up. They were the first band that the guy from System of a Down signed to his label when he started his own label, Serj Tankian. And they are like System of a Down meets Journey meets REM. Really, really weird vocal melodies. And actually, both hands on your head, that harmony at the end totally felt like my first Fair to Midland moment. So if you get a chance to listen to them, that's a really great album front to back. Thank you. Seriously, that means a hell of a lot. It really does. Thank you. All right, so here's a song that may or may not be inciting acts. This is called Militia Intent.
I didn't do it, I swear.
Rhetorical acts, I swear.
You can keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands. So I play civil if you wouldn't listen to 50,000 died. And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. So I play civil when all these dead won't make you listen.
What's more American than slaying your oppressors? What's more American than liberty or death first? See, I thought we were founded on abolishing the tyranny of those who would starve a village all to live empirically. And I regret that I have only one life to give for my cause now that I can see the cause so clearly. See, I want our leaders, regardless of party, to fear me, 'cause I will pick my targets and assassinate them lyrically. See, I will bring them out into the town square, hook them to the pillory and leave them there. And Hillary, I'll see you there. Hillary, I'll see you there.
Oh, you can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your heads. No, I'd play civil if you wouldn't listen to 100,000 dead. And now we know our mission, we form a militia, make Congress a prison. So I play civil when all these dead won't make you listen.
See, welcome to the fantasy of rhetoric. Welcome to the last of the free speech while we can get it. And I promise you can get it. All you corporate Democrats, second wave Confederates, GOP illusionists, and neo-Nazi bureaucrats. And Stephen fucking Miller, I will see you in the aftermath. When all the laws are dust and there's just moral justice after that. I would hunt you down through the wasteland if it comes to that. Just so I could rub you in the dirt like a cheap human Brillo pad. See, I can sleep fine when our beds are burning, Stephen, but I'll turn around and run into the blaze to get my pillow back. As long as I can lay my head down, I can live with that. I can deal with a little ash. See, I can feel like a little of the old me burn with the bad and the rest of my past. The old world where we all lived and we can't get back. The old world where you didn't give and you'd still get back. Where you could rake in 12 billion and give none back. Well, those days are behind us. The virus will kill all of that. Your wealth is behind us and kindness is meant for the past. Our leaders would bind us and starve us and call it a fast. A sacrament meant for their God that they garnish in cash. They feed it the poor by the hundreds, that's all that it asks. Its hunger is legion and people in need are all it will have. Our only chance is to starve it and watch as it turns on them.
can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands. Can't keep giving us nothing and think we're bluffing about coming for your hands.
And that is Militia Intent, folks. Killer. So good. And that was off
Crazy.
of
We are
Inauguration Gift?
That's on Virus. I was about to say it's almost 3 years ago I wrote that song.
Wow.
Which is crazy to think that Virus is coming up on its 3 year. I started writing that in March of 2020. So right when I got locked down and put on unemployment, and I was like, well, what else am I gonna do? But just, you know, like you're like, well, I'm sick and I'm hanging out at home, time to write some Substack articles. I was like, well, shit, I know I'm going back to work, but I don't know when. It's gonna be at least a month. Like, I'm not going anywhere for a while, so shit.
Yeah, save us from State of the Union. Come here! That is our first American Tradition Super Chat. Yes, folks, we can get Super Chats now on INN. We have been
tell the accountant.
We got to I got to put that down on the ledger. $2 in the plus side, but remember, Google gets their 30%, so it really is $1.40. All right, less taxes. Come on, we have to pay income tax because we're not a non-for-profit. So we got about $1 there, and I got to split that with Jesse. So thanks for the 50 cents, dude. I'm just playing, but yeah, we know the Twitter audit police are out there. Twitter audit police, we're coming for your super chats. Wow. All right, I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna show my petty. I'm not going to do it. I know Colin would like me to, but embrace the petty. I just can't do it. I'm not that lucky. What? Oh.
Oh, see, it's 11 o'clock. What are you thinking? What do we want to get? Anything you wanted to hear?
Let's see.
You want me to wing something here?
It is Cynic's Day. So I give her first shot there, but I could go Super Size. I could go Love Your Prison. I could go hashtag Squad Goals. I could go Great Experiment because you've got your acoustic guitar there, so Great Experiment works for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Great Experiment. Oh, Toast to Dissolve. Oh shit.
Ooh, that's one I don't even know. Speaker of the House. I know Speaker of the House. Everybody likes Speaker of the House too. And don't you do Blocking the Light or I'm gonna beat you, because I don't need.
Oh yeah, I was gonna do Blocking the Light. I forgot about that.
Oh, dude, I don't need to cry. Are you serious, man? You're gonna make me fucking cry tonight at the end of the show.
Let me.
My little perfect soul, bro. Like, what are you doing to me?
I totally have to practice Toast to Dissolve. Like, I hate to say it, but I need to look up those lyrics and like practice that song because I haven't played that in way too long.
You know what we could do is Biden's hairy leg maybe for
but
Lord?
next show I will have it like practiced and like legit, because I would hate myself if I Ave Maria'd that song. I couldn't. We can't have that. It's a verb now. It's a shame verb.
It is. It's the song of shame, and that's terrible. Andrea Bocelli would be very disappointed. Oh, you're killing me, bro. Look Fat. Yeah, you know what? We should have done Look Fat tonight. Yeah, but tonight would have been perfectly appropriate considering State of the Union and everything, and he's giving a speech.
Yeah, right.
Right? That would have been good. I got to think about it a little bit more, but totally read between the lines. That'd have been good too.
find, I know that you had to know. Pulling what's left of my mind, I'm trying to tell you so. I tried to block the light, I know you could feel its glow. I've been here holding my hands, I'm trying to keep you close, trying to keep you close.
I really want to set you free, but I really want to let you be. Part of me wished I could set myself aside and just let you take the ride, just chalk the rest up to destiny. I could let you believe that the only restraints in life are the size of your dreams. Let you believe each kid grows up with the world at their feet. When I know too well that it's open season, I know they're taking stock and raising stocks and raising stock. And I'm simply not here to sit and watch as you learn the lesson all cogs are taught. Keep your head down and keep to task and just keep on blocking the rest of it all out. Just keep on with the rest of the herd of a million adjacent oblivious workers. All the forest unseen for the trees, and the trees unseen for the fallout. Now what's more damning, baby, the truth or the ignorance? Fuck it, I honestly wonder if I see the answer so well. Baby, believe me well, I know it's scary, I scare myself. If I could find a way out of my head, I would run like hell. I would ditch this body politic, minus occupant, somewhere far from the dismal abyss. In the tranquil crystalline bliss of the beach, I could rest with the rest of the shells. And then if anyone asks, I'm anywhere else. If I'm really needed, just light the candle, then read the book, and then ring the bell. Oh, my untarnished heart, my little perfect soul, this world will melt your mercy down so they can sell its gold. This world will take your worth, then demand 1,000-fold. It's full of greedy pigs who'll eat you out of house and home. They'll strip your bank accounts and sweep you somewhere down the road, and then return to eat your tent and shitty bike you rode. Your bottled water, only shoes and coat and broken phone. Then smiling in your face, they'll tell you that the shelter's closed.
Hoped you would never find out, knew that you had to know. Pulling what's left of my mind out, trying to tell you so. I tried to block the light out, knew you could feel its glow. I've been here holding my hands out, trying to keep you close, trying to keep you.
My untarnished heart, my little perfect soul. This world will melt your mercy down so they can sell its gold. This world will take your worth, then demand 1,000-fold. I tried to block the light just so I could keep you close.
That's a hard one to hold back on at the end. Say I'm not used to doing that and not just like spitting out a little bit of throat when I do it.
Right? Yeah, it's got some like to it at the end.
Yeah.
Give you close.
It's hard not to. As soon as I get to the it's full of greedy pigs, that doesn't come out without a greedy. Like,
yeah, you got to grit your teeth a little bit. 100%.
There's a whole bunch of bile on the back end of that.
You saw I threw up the lyrics at the end there for at least the last verse of the chorus. Everybody can see what that is. Missy says she likes that so much to be able to like see what the words are, because it's a lot to absorb, man. And then when you see it, you read it, and then you can, wow, just fuck. Awesome band, yeah. Everybody's flipping out, yep, as well they should be. They're taking stock and raising stocks and raising stock. That always kills me. That's another one that like You know, I just want to be a passenger and take the ride, but I can't do that because they're gonna fuck with you the whole time, and I better be there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, killing me early. All right, we got another one we're doing here. What are we gonna bust out?
Let's see.
Should Radigan? Well, we could always do through the eyes. Through the eyes is always good. Hey.
All right, we're gonna try Toast to Dissolve. Even if I get only a quarter of the way and then I shit the bed, it's better than nothing. It's your birthday, by God. Let's see if I remember how to even fucking play this.
Anything or check your vittles and chiclets, it's all beer and skittles in the lap of the witness. No terra firma for the kindred or the kismet. I deal in copper, motherfucker, this is business. So rest the masses, I speak for Cassius, through Cassius, cast in plastic, caustic and spastic, dripping off the lips of the frantic, just to boil in the oiled Atlantic. Hereby all of the Bibles are fanfic, penned by the fallible and overly drastic. Born God be gone one-handed. I present the list of the standard demands of the tantric. Out of my hands to dissolve. Out of my hands, oh, to dissolve. Out of my hands to dissolve. Out of my hands. Oh shit. God damn it. While you would think that we would factor satisfactorily, tally it mathematically, you have to see nothing's really as it seems, stacked like cattle in the back of the gratis factory. And I implore you to laugh at me, but any cat with half the span to grasp the plan of God for man dissolved his dividends, packed his contraband and ran. Cause we're approaching the days of Ayn Rand, of martial law, turning seed to sand. So you should keep your seeds at hand, because they'll reconstitute your retirement plan. Cause these days ahead are a retirement ban, where the limitless growth meets the hiring ban on your unemployed workers with a dime to their hand. For the love of money penny, this was damn sure planned. So let your banker tell you that the storms have passed, that it's safe to invest, that there's hope at last. But tear down your blinds and your blinders and your mask. Ask the folks squatting on your banker's grass if his spacious acres and his scraps for cats can support their family through a winter's wrath, can afford their children to attend the class, can it mend a gash or keep limbs attached? Can we, the torn union of broken glass, declare our souls hostage to thoughtless traps, submit that all odds are against our behalf, denounce the false gods of phones and apps, unlock the door, unscrew the latch, and witness the world that is not broadcast, the yearning and poor that the news has passed, who were shocked to conclude that the dudes who abuse the masses own the news and all of our asses, and they choose the worldview that pacifies millions of otherwise activists, that fogs the glasses of would-be advocates of all of our unfed, unsaid inhabitants. So till we're human, and no longer averages, no longer bargaining chips, pawns, or savages, no longer statistics mentioned only in percentages, your grandiose Colombian superpower hemorrhages. Out of my hands, oh, to dissolve. Out of my hands, oh, to dissolve. Out of my hands, oh, to dissolve. Out of my hands.
I'm gonna victory lap around my fucking neighborhood right now. Oh
Bro,
my
that
God.
was touch and go for a second, but he pulled it off.
It was.
He pulled it off.
It's like once it starts, as long as I don't stop, then I'm good. So that song is 10 years old, 11 years old.
Wow.
That I wrote. Oh God, was I living in the Keys when I wrote that? And that was the one that I've talked about when people ask, when did you first like do political music? That was a piece I used to pull out at gigs when I was playing gigs, 2 or 3 a day in the Keys. Once it was like kind of quieting down and you can kind of play whatever you want to play, I'd pull that song out, and that someone would always have to come up and be like, man, great set, but you can't do that political shit. That song, you shouldn't be doing shit like that. And I would always be like, man, fuck you. Why shouldn't I? Like, all the more reason I should do songs like that. And it's crazy because it sounds like something I could have written this week lyrically, and man, if you could have gone back to 2012, Jesse, and showed him a glimpse of the world 10 years later.
Like, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know if he would have
only
believed
I
it.
knew.
I don't think he'd have bought
right?
it. He'd been like,
But-
really? And he's got a kid.
Yeah, so
Uh-huh.
and that was right.
That guy's got a kid.
It's still unfortunately still relevant as fuck. I wish it wasn't.
Yeah. For real.
What's really cool, my grandparents on my dad's side have both passed now. They were really, really forward-thinking, incredibly progressive people, even given the time they came up in and the area they lived in. They were just some of the most genuine people, and an awful lot of people talk about their grandparents and be like, mention some casual racism, and they're, well, that's everyone's grandparents. Like, well, not mine, motherfucker. So I was really, really lucky in that regard. I didn't give my grandmother enough credit because I'd never played that song for her, and then she ended up hearing it. Someone played it for her, and she loved it. And she actually once printed out and gave me this timeline of the corporate coup attempt to overthrow FDR, and she knew her shit. Like, she was
Wow.
my grandmother was way more based than I was able to appreciate at the time. But it's really, really, really cool. When I play that song now, I can't help but think of her. So, like, that's like, put it up for my grandma, because turns out she loved that song. That made me really happy.
And what's even funnier, my grandfather guarded Eleanor Roosevelt in Battle Creek, Michigan during World War II.
No shit.
No shit.
Wow.
Crazy.
That's crazy. Wow.
Kind of crazy shit. Yep. I got pictures of him like at the base and stuff. It's pretty wild.
Wow. Damn, dude. Wow. Well, I feel like that's a good note to end on. I'm not going to be able to top that. I got through all the ones on the list, and the one that I was scared of.
Yeah. So just to recap for everybody, if you came on late, and you can go back, we've got an original spoken word piece that Jesse put out called Ground Zero Pizza Hut. That was a debut, a world debut tonight. And then he did Depop Culture acoustic for the first time. Guys, go back and listen to that. It was incredible. Redpilled, another acoustic version of Redpilled, which we haven't heard in close to a year. Powerless, it was beautiful. Both Hands on Your Head and Militia Intent. We did Blocking the Light and just Toast of Resolved at the end. And that's a nice set. I mean, literally, I could turn that into a greatest hits album right there.
Right?
We can, we need to start putting these out as podcast episodes, and I could do that pretty easily.
We should, by God.
Spotify makes it easy now to upload the MP4 file as a full MP4, and it just becomes an audio podcast. So I think maybe I'll start doing that. All I have to do is just do it, make one and upload it. So that'd be cool. I think people would enjoy hearing this in podcast form. But yeah, so many songs we don't even know. I know you have an entire library that we haven't even heard from before you started doing political stuff. So we've heard a couple of those songs.
Yeah.
Warren Palooza, I seem to recall you did a couple of them that night.
Yeah.
That's
kind of on the list of like 2023, I'm gonna do another spoken word thing. That will be Love Notes from Gitmo. And I really want to use the title International Shit Show for something. So I don't know if that's going to be like a jam album or my jazz project that I've been putting off, but International Shit Show has to be. I really want to have Love Notes from Gitmo, International Shit Show. Like that's my 1-2 punch releases. So that's on the plan. And then, yeah, I want to do something as well that just kind of recording some of those pre-radicalization songs, from back when I was just singer-songwriter, Jesse. Yeah, just all the stuff from the other life. At least feels a life ago.
Guys, you're getting to listen to all this for free. Like, it's what a privilege. Seriously, like I can't even say enough about how lucky I feel to be able to do this show, to be able to listen to you and see the creative process over time, and it's just amazing. Seriously, it's a gift to all of us, and we appreciate you sharing that with us, and we wish Cynic a happy birthday. Tomorrow night, 10 o'clock. Tomorrow night, 9 o'clock Eastern. Watch Reef and Colin do INN News. They'll be doing a few stories. Thursday night, 10 o'clock Eastern. We're going to run what was going to be Sunday night. We're going to do it live. We're going to do what was Sunday nights. How do we miss that? I'm going to do it Thursday night because I was too sick to do it Sunday night. And then we'll do another one on Sunday night too because I'm a glutton. And I've been dying to get back to doing shows and doing news and sharing stories. It's been 5-6 weeks. Other than doing one episode of American Tradition, I basically have taken a good 6 weeks off, and I feel like I'm ready to get back into it a little bit. I was burned out, and I'm still burned out of quite a bit, and maybe this is the way to kick back into it, is to do some shows with some friends and do the shit that I like doing the most. So thank you everybody for being here, seriously. And we really appreciate you. We appreciate, of course, Care Bear dropping the $2 super chat. That was awesome. Thank you. Go follow us over on the Rockfin. I know everybody here probably does, but rockfin.com/INN. We're over there. We're on rumble.com/C/Indie News Network, INDIE News Network. And of course, as Reef always likes to say, you can find all the network channels and all of our members' links over at indienews.network. Very simple. Including link to the merch store. IndieNews.network. Well, and the doobly-doo too. We can do that too. But yeah, we did a mashup. I've been putting Joe's videos up on Twitter. We have Twitter Blue back. We subscribe to that so that we can put up longer videos. So we've been putting some of Joe's videos back since he's been suspended, getting his library back up, having some fun with that. So check out our Twitter at Get Indie News as well over there. So we'll see you everywhere. And this is Indy saying to question everyone's motivations and
album link for chat. I got you.
Link for chat.
You want Spotify? You want Bandcamp? I got both.
Yep.
First is Spotify.
Yep. Jesse will drop those in chat. And I'm going to go to the credits.
Campery.
But yeah, thanks, Greg, wherever you are. Shout out to Big Mad Crab for our thumbnail as always, because he's our creative director and he last minute throws stuff together and it's amazing. Jesse comes up with like a concept and he just throws like 5 words together and Crab makes it happen and makes it exactly the way he wanted and better usually. And I said to her, I could have done a thumbnail, but you definitely did one better than I could have thought to do. So I'm glad you did it instead of me. So for that, everyone have a great night and we'll see you, I guess, in a couple weeks. And this has been American Tradition, episode 19.
My birthday's on the 28th. That's a Tuesday too, so maybe we'll do it then.
That is. Well, that's 3 weeks from now.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll skip.
I'm sure I'll get sick or something.
We'll skip President's Day or whatever. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Have a good night, everyone.
All right.
I think I liked it better being blind. When I couldn't read between the lines, and when I couldn't see the cracks in the structure that lay bare before me the whole time. I think I liked it better back when I suspended disbelief and swallowed pride. I thought I knew the difference in the red from the blue, but they both bleed us so dry. They both bleed us so dry.
My favorite songs don't hit the same way. I get to the end of a 4-minute track and I'm only looking back thinking, what did they